Today from Providence, Rhode Island, the Golden Eagles of Marquette soar into town on a 3-game winning streak. The Friars should have some payback on their minds after coming up on the short end of a 30-point game in Milwaukee 3 weeks ago. It's Marquette and Providence in the Big East Network Game of the Week. Next. Welcome to the PNC Big East Network Game of the Week. This afternoon, we're inside the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island, as the Friars of Providence play host to the Marquette Golden Eagles. As we move into the second half of the Big East season, Villanova game up on Syracuse, but look at all the teams. 4 of them deadlocked at 5-5. Last year, 7 teams went dancing from the Big East. Who would be that 7th in 2010? Hi, everybody. Along with Ron Perry, a guy who knocked down more than 2,500 points during his All-American days at Holy Cross. I'm Mike Gleason. Great to have you with us here on the Big East Network Game of the Week. And Ron, every game is important, of course, but now that we move into the second half of the season, teams start to separate themselves.
They really do, and you want to get hot right now. Marquette and Providence are right in the middle of the pack. Put a good win streak together, get hot, and get yourself ready for the tournament.
Who's feeling the bright lights of your Star Watch tonight?
Well, a couple of really good guys in this ballgame. Lazar Hayward has played great basketball for Marquette this year. Leads the team in both scoring and rebounding. Can fill it up from the perimeter. Dynamite inside. A very tough guy to cover. Leads the way for Marquette. And for Providence, they've really relied on their big man as well this year, and it's been Jermaine Peterson. He's been absolutely dynamite for the Friars. He's had some great dunks. He's got outstanding leaping ability, and he has really led the way from the Friars, both inside as well as the perimeter. And these guys are a great matchup here tonight, both of them coming off big double-doubles in their last games.
Marquette's won 3 straight. The Marquette coaches say that Providence plays 100% better at home. Can they get some revenge here this afternoon? The tip coming up. Welcome back inside the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, along with Ron Perry, Mike Gleason here, as the Friars come in at 12-10, 4-6 in league play. Marquette now 14-8, 5-5. Let's check the starting lineups brought to you by Interstate Batteries. First of all, for the visitors, the Golden Eagles of Marquette, Lazar Hayward, averaging 18 points, 8 rebounds a game. Jimmy Butler coming off a huge week, 18.5 points, about 7.5 rebounds, shot 52%, including that game-winning shot against UConn last week. And for the Friars, Sherrod Curry in conference play now up to 17.8 points a game. And you look at Jermaine Peterson, just one of 2 players in the Big East, Ron, averaging a double-double.
Now, he's played very well, and he'll need to play well. He got that flagrant foul at Marquette before the first half. He needs to play big today.
That's a great point. That 30-point loss by Providence. You look at Peterson sitting out the second half. The fact that Marquette shot almost 63% from three-point territory, and when the game was out of reach, Keno Davis played a lot of freshmen in the second half.
I know. I think this shapes up, Mike, to be a very tight, tough game. Providence very tough at home, and they're 2 very similar teams.
Talking with Aukie Collins, one of the assistant coaches for Marquette, they were trying to stress to these guys, just because we beat them by 30, Providence plays so much better at home. If you guys don't show up ready to play, you're in for a rude awakening. As you take a look at the series, Marquette leading it 7-4. 5-1 since joining the Big East. Last year in this building, they put up a lot of points, 91-82. Is that the kind of game you expect here today?
I do. I think it's going to be up-tempo. Both teams like to shoot the 3. They're 1-2 in the conference from that area. I think the board battle could be key today, Mike. Who can control the backboards? Both of these teams can fill it up.
Well, Providence, the #1 offensive rebounding team in the Big East Conference. Keno Davis really stressing some defense as they go right inside, and they get the bucket as the redshirt freshman scores. Bilal Dixon.
Well, there's that offensive rebounding right after it. Man-to-man by Marquette to start, and Providence shows some 1-2-2, 3/4 court pressure.
One thing Marquette does so well is they hit that extra pass. Hayward outside, bring it up. That's a 3.
Marquette is so tough from the perimeter, Mike. They're #1 in the nation with field goal percentage better than 42%. All of their guys can fill it up.
Inside, little spin move. Nice move by Ryan McKenzie. He comes in averaging 6 points a game. 2 years ago, he averaged close to 12.
Marquette handles the ball so well. Oh, that time a little turnover, though.
Marshawn Brooks gives it up, and the Friars grab the lead. And Sherrod Curry gets his first bucket.
Brooks has very long arms. He's in the front of this 2-2-1 3/4 court press. He's about 6'5". You've got to use the fake and the bounce pass.
Over the last 5 games or so, Providence giving up about 95 points a game, Ron. And Keno Davis saying yesterday it's not like they don't practice on defense. They use probably half of their practice time to focus on defense.
I think part of it is the tempo they play, too. I know Keno Davis wants the full court pressure, the up-tempo. So when you score a lot of points, a lot of times you will give a lot up as well, as you see Davis in his second year here at Providence. Doing a good job, and previously had Coach of the Year honors at Drake University.
Thought it was interesting, too, talking about the transition as Hayward steps outside and knocks down his second three. You had mentioned the #1 shooting 3 team in the country. Well, they're 2 for 2 right now.
And I tell you, the big guy has made him, and such a good matchup. I love it with Hayward and Peterson, both guys electric inside, and they're also able to fill it up from the outside.
Curry, a little step back. A little bit too strong, and the rebound chased out of bounds. Last touch by Providence. Marquette basketball. All right, Ron, how about your keys to the game for the Marquette Golden Eagles?
Well, you've already seen it so far. They love to spread the floor. They've got to do that and handle the ball and make the shots and box out Providence because, as you mentioned, they're very good on the offensive boards.
This is Acker with the basketball. 66% shooter from 3. Well, that is phenomenal. I don't think Ron Perry even shot 66%, even though they didn't have the 3 ball back in your day. But
that's an impressive stat right there for Acker. That one won't go for Johnson Odom, though.
Hayward pulls down the rebound. Brandon, there's some defense right there by Curry and a reach by Acker. And that's going to be his first. You know, I thought it was interesting getting back to that defensive philosophy. You talked about the up-tempo and everything, and I asked Keno Davis yesterday, why do kids, you hear so many coaches talk about 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes. He said, well, it's kind of a mental transition because when they're playing AAU basketball, they're playing so many games in the summer, sometimes 3 times a day. So mentally they kind of check out, whereas that's not the case when you're playing Big East basketball. You got to get 40 minutes.
You've got to play start to finish. Nice finish again inside. Here's Providence on the offensive glass.
Dixon comes in averaging 8.6 rebounds. He's got 4 points already for the Friars.
Plus at this level, they're big, physical, and quick. And these games have to be played from start to finish because these games, especially a tempo like this, will not be over until that final buzzer.
Hayward goes behind the back, but right after the whistle, John Cal, Bob Donato, Paul Fea calling the shots, wearing the striped shirts here in Providence. How about Providence and the keys to the game for the Friars?
Well, just like Marquette, I think Providence has got to make threes. They don't have that, super post game, but they do hit the offensive glass, and they've got to extend their defense, the pressure, the zone, the man-to-man, whatever they're in, to the hot shooting Marquette club who loves the 3 ball as well.
Yeah, Marquette 2 for 3 shooting so far, both threes. Providence 4 for 7. There's some defense that Keno Davis will be happy to see.
A couple of uncharacteristic turnovers early by Marquette. Good pressure by Providence.
Council takes it right to the rack. Splits through the defense. Boy, they really like this young guy, don't they?
They really do. He's played well for Providence. And Keno Davis has had him in a lot of pressure situations of late. And Council was really the lone bright spot in that 30-point defeat where he had 24 points, which was a career high.
Yeah, he had 16 against Syracuse with 9 assists. A true freshman out of the Patterson School down in North Carolina.
He's got a lot of poise out there. He doesn't look like a freshman.
Hayward turns, fires. Well, he looked comfortable on that shot. He was deep.
Yeah, he's got the rhythm going early in this one.
Mentioned the conversation I had with Aukie Collins. He said Lazar Hayward's probably the most unselfish superstar he's ever met. He's played out of position his entire career at Marquette and never complained, and very well could wind up be the second leading scorer behind Jerome McNeil all time.
Really impressive. Well over 1,600 points, and well, that's what you look for. I mean, this is a Marquette team that will play perimeter ball with 4 guards, and he fits right into that mold.
Sherrod Curry, that's number 37 from long range on the year for him.
Now, Sherrod Curry is really the senior leader for this Providence team, and he's up over 1,400 points for his career. Providence showing a little bit of pressure here. Nice penetration, though.
Jimmy Butler with the jam, his first bucket. Marquette proving they can win last week at UConn with Hayward off the floor. Hayward fouled out of the game, and that can do so much for your confidence as well.
That was a big win. That's right. Other people have to step up when the superstar has to sit. Marquette showing some matchup zone right now, 2-3 style.
Peterson with the left hand, it won't go. And a great hustle, chases down the rebound. The stick back won't go, and he gets another rebound, but it's stripped by Johnson Odom. The left-hander puts it up with the rights, and the stick back. Butler, right place, right time. He's got 4.
This is a quick, athletic Marquette team. They don't have a lot of size on the floor right now, but they pressure you man-to-man right now, and they really run the floor.
Marshawn Brooks, here's a guy, too, that they say he can get into these streaks offensively where he's unstoppable. And if he focused a little more on his defensive game, he could really be a big-time player. Only a junior. Curry, deep. Nothing but net. Curry, back-to-back threes. He's got 8.
Curry really leading the way early for the Friars with the lead.
Last touch by Marquette. Vincent Council out of Brooklyn. Showing the Friar fans he can split the defense and take it to the rack. On the other side, Jimmy Butler getting things done for Marquette. (16-10) Providence by 6. Ron Perry teaches a few things about this game.
Good start to this game. Both teams going right at each other, but for Marquette, I like what they do with the basketball against pressure. They try to get right into the teeth of the defense, go north-south. And what you're looking for with your backcourt people is good penetration. No help out on that screen. Kind of a soft screen, but it rubs Curry. And Johnson Odom with that penetration into the lane, able to feed it off to Jimmy Butler. Give credit to Johnson Odom there with the assist and the dish. And that's what you look for, that north-south penetration.
Jimmy Butler averaging 5.5 points, 4 rebounds a game last year. Those numbers jumped to 15 and 6.6. That's quite the jump.
Really is. I tell you what, between Hayward and Butler and Johnson Odom, that trio really leads the way.
Kyle Wright comes off the bench and touches the ball for the first time and launches a 3.
Providence likes the 3, and they will take them early and often, even on the first touch. I like to see a guy come into the game, touch it a few times, run the floor, and then take that shot.
Hayward with the spin down on the baseline. There's that extra pass we talked about. Keno Davis said he'd travel with the basketball, but they come up empty anyway. Curry trying to take it coast to coast. What do you think, Ron? Trying to push it a little bit too hard that time?
Yeah, a little out of control. I think he really made his mind up. I want to get this one in there. And I'm not sure it wouldn't have been better to just set the offense up. Sometimes with the up-tempo, you've got to say sometimes, back it out. Let's run it. Let's work a little time off the clock.
Boy, Dixon's been aggressive, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez, put that shoulder down, kisses it off the window. He's got 6.
He averages 8 a game. If he becomes more offensive-minded, he's a good rebounder. That'll really help Providence's cause down the stretch.
In years to come, too. I mean, Keno Davis saying that they like to play like Villanova, except even faster. If he could get a really good inside presence next year, that would really, really help.
Little 2-3 matchup by Providence. Nice penetration again, though.
Penetration and the kick. Kubian knocks down the shot.
Kubian from Venezuela. Again, great job by Marquette, just getting into the teeth of the defense.
Nice find. The Council gets a gift there, being in the right spot. He's got 4.
Kyle Wright with the save. I love the way Council, though, just plays under control.
Boy, he hustles. They say they really like his game. They say as far as court sense, you talk about Curry being the leader. Council very well could be the best player on the team right now. Is that fair to say?
I think he's really coming on. I think he's becoming the floor leader because he's a true point guard. Nice finish right there. He thinks pass first and run the team, and you don't find a lot of those young guys like that coming into this league playing with that kind of poise that want to be the floor general.
And the operative word is poise. Providence fan hearing me say that, they'll probably say, what about Peterson? So Peterson's probably the most athletic, but Council really has some good court sense out there. Nice ball fake by Acker. Wow. Didn't touch any rim on that shot.
Beautiful up fake. Acker had that 6-6 from three-point game against Providence first time around, and he's got a little bit of a matchup problem with McKenzie at 6'5". They're trying to find him.
Peterson yet to score, kisses it out the window, his first bucket.
Peterson's been really unbelievable. He stepped his game up, 150% from a year ago, and just game in, game out, he's been there in the double-double category for the Friars.
Acker deep, a little bit too strong. Another rebound, long rebound by Bikes. Bikes left open. He missed the shot. Maybe he was too wide open, Ron.
Long threes generate long rebounds. You've got to box out and get after it.
Mundy takes the shot. He was a big-time scorer in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Boy, up and down. Fast pace for this game. Kubian. What I like about Marquette, obviously the big three were impressive last year. As Peterson takes it the distance, showing he can handle the rock. No flashy dunk that time, Ron, but they all count for two.
Now that's your big guy for Providence, going coast to coast, handling the basketball like a point guard.
Biggest lead of the game, up 10 right now, 24-14 as we take a look at Jermaine Peterson. Redshirting last year. Was that a touch of genius for Keno Davis? Or a lot of Providence fans say, hey, we could have used him last year.
Well, I tell you what, he got some minutes, but he's playing great basketball, and his confidence level, you see it on that one, dribbling all the way up the floor. A few turnovers early by Marquette, and Providence capitalizing. But Jermaine Peterson and Belial Dixon really corner that low post. And Peterson can go outside as well for Keno Davis. And the Friars certainly don't look like a team that seems intimidated at all by a team that beat them by 30. They love playing here at the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
Well, Keno was trying to downplay the revenge factor yesterday. But, hey, these young kids, you get beat by 30, right? You want to come back and have a little payback on their mind.
I think Providence also feels in this game they've got to get it. They're 4-6 in league play. They're at home. I think they've got a very tough road ahead, and they think they've got to get this ball game today.
Providence over the last 340 on an 11-4 run, and right now the Friars by 10 over the Golden Eagles of Marquette. Welcome back to Providence. 24-14, 11-10 to go in the first half. Let's take a look, Ron, at our Big East leaders. Brought to you by PNC, leading the way, and Marquette leading the way. The entire nation, you look at all the eights up there, but Marquette averaging in league play about 9.5, almost 9.5 threes a game.
They've got a great perimeter game, as does Providence and Villanova. The Rick Pitino's Louisville teams always seem to be right there as well. These teams spread you out, make it difficult to defend.
Friars trying to snap a little skid and climb to 5-6 in the Big East. There's Vincent Council. His numbers, they go up in league play. He's averaging about 10.5 points in conference play, and over the last 3 games, almost 6 assists a game for the rookie.
Now, he's a real keeper. He's done a great job. Providence showing more man-to-man today against this very tough Marquette team from the perimeter. They tend to like zone, but man today.
Well, they do a great job of getting that ball in the paint and kicking it out for the open three. Hayward. Fans wanted to travel. There's a lefty sharpshooter as Darius Johnson-Odom knocks down his 52nd three.
Now, Hayward looked like he walked, but he held the pivot foot. It's okay. He held that pivot foot down. Good no call by the officials.
Peterson is stripped. A little balancing act down on the baseline, and Marquette comes away with it. Johnson-Odom coming off the 21-point performance against DePaul.
Yeah, he looked great in that game. One of the plays I remember is stealing a dunk, and he was like lightning down the floor.
He's got a lot of good court savvy out of the Raleigh, North Carolina, so got out of ACC country, went to junior college. That's the 5th turnover for Marquette on the game. Marquette coming in averaging just about 10.5 turnovers for Buzz Williams in his 2nd season as the head coach.
Yeah, they're a little ahead with that 5 turnover already, just halfway through the first half. Providence has put some good pressure on them. Marquette right now in man-to-man as well. Good matchup right there with Curry at point.
Trying to feed the post. Telegraph the pass. And Johnson-Odom slams down his 5th point.
And a lot of times that drop-down pass from the top to the low post won't work. You want to get it to the wing or the corner and drop it down. Good finish by Marquette.
As we take another look at it, a little bit too telegraphed the pass probably, huh?
Yeah, telegraphed, and plus, you're up top on that McKenzie, and the defender just puts the arm out, no problem. You don't have a good angle. Look at that steal, and then nicely done to Odom, boy, he's good with either hand.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hey, come on.
He could have gone left, right?
He's left-handed. He plays basketball.
No problem. And he could have gone even 2 on that one.
Anybody that plays basketball and is left-handed can shoot the rock, right, and handle it both hands.
Absolutely.
Young man out of Raleigh, North Carolina. He's gone from an all-state player 2 years ago to a first-team junior college All-American to now averaging double figures, 14 a game in conference play, and a big, you know, it's funny. I was talking again with Aki Collins, the assistant coach. He said he came in and he didn't want to step on anyone's toes. He knew this was Lazar's team, and all of a sudden in practice one day, Lazar Hayward went up to him and said, you know what, we need you in attack mode all the time. And that just kind of cracked the ice, and he's been playing some great basketball ever since.
That's great leadership when your top guy, you know, instills that confidence in his teammates. Nice pass.
Out on the baseline, and no indication they're going to count the basket. The whistle before the shot. Much to the chagrin of the Providence faithful here in the dunk. Keno Davis looking for an explanation from John Cal.
I think it was an inadvertent whistle. I saw Keno Davis saying, what happened? It was an inadvertent whistle.
That's exactly what it was. Good call, Ron. So the Friars don't get the bucket, but they have the basketball. Peterson really working hard, but probably trying to do too much down there right now, Ron.
That's a tough break for Providence. I think that's right. Peterson wants to get into the flow of this offense. That's a tough break for Providence. They had a good play designed. The whistle took it away, and those are the breaks sometimes. 2-2-1 pressure by Providence, and Marquette looking to really attack this pressure today.
Look at Marquette, and a lot has been said about the 5 losses by a total of 11 points, 4 losses by a total of 6 points as Johnson Odom gets his 7-0 run now for Marquette. But the coaching staff, instead of dwelling on that, they said, you know what, if we would have hit some free throws, some key shots, played a little tougher defense and got some stops, maybe we'd be 6-4, maybe 7-3 instead of 5-5 right now.
Well, you got to focus on those things you can do to put yourself in a position to win. Nice pressure by Marquette. 1-2-2 3-quarter court. Both teams going right at each other.
Council a little shy. Brooks with the rebound, and there's a grab by number 10 that's going to go against David Kubion. So Buzz Williams saying earlier this year, they just want to get 1% better every day. Right now they've won 3 straight, and right now Dixon is playing probably his best basketball. He's got 8 now.
Yeah, he looks very offensive-minded, real presence low. Nice pass.
And Jimmy Butler on the receiving end. He's got 6. So is that part of the scouting report, something Keno Davis said we can attack their post players, because Dixon's really been aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, this is not a tall Marquette team, so he's saying let's try to get some action inside, and he's delivered.
Curry delivers with a double-figure game already. He's got 10. As I mentioned, averaging 15 on the year, just under 18 in conference play.
Well, if you like offense and shooting and guys that can have a lot of quickness to the goal, you've got it in this ball game.
Well, there's some quickness right there by Johnson Odom as he feeds Butler again for his 8th point.
This could be a good stat game today, high scoring. And right now what you've got to do is try to get some stops defensively.
Curry. Air ball, but hey, Marshawn Brooks is there with his first bucket to clean up the garbage.
Curry will say later, how'd you like the dish? I set you right up on that and saw you coming in.
I guess you could almost expect an assist on that.
Didn't touch the iron.
Hayward miss. Peterson rips down the rebound. Peterson just 1 of 2 to average a double-double. But points in the paint now. Providence with 22-10 in the lead, and this one drops in. Oh, they waved it. Wave it off. But speaking of points in the paint, Buzz Williams, every 4-minute timeout, he gets the huddle over there, and they talk about how many touches they get in the paint. Right now, Keno Davis and his Friars are getting it done inside with more touches, more points in the paint. Back inside the Dunkin' Donut Center, a 30-25 Providence by 5 over Marquette. All season long, Champion Apparel will be showcasing the tradition and history of the Big East Conference. And Ron, this afternoon, let's take a look at the Hall of Fame coach, Dave Gavitt of Providence.
Dave Gavitt's one of the all-time greats at Providence as a head coach and athletic director. CEO of the Celtics. I mean, he's really just done it all, and he was the commissioner of the Big East, of course, and the Hall of Fame. A true basketball legend in this area and a great Providence College Friar.
Champion, it's how you play, and Dave Gavitt definitely a champion, leading Providence to the 1973 Final Four. And you look at all the wins he had, Ron, I think one of the biggest compliments is everyone I talked to said he's a great guy.
Absolute class act, and he is synonymous with Providence College basketball. The floor here named after him, and he's at the ball game today.
Dave Gavitt. One of the great names here at Providence, and they've had some great names over the past, huh?
They really have. Dave Gavitt Court here at the Dunkin' Donuts Center, and a great tribute to Dave.
When you think of the past history, I mean, guys like Jimmy Walker and Ernie D, Lenny Wilkins, John Thompson, I mean, that list goes on, and you, growing up not far from here, you probably could add a lot more names to that list, huh?
Well, those are some great names, some, true stars of the game. Jimmy Walker, Lenny Wilkins, Ernie D at a lot of these games, so it's great to see all of the Friar players come back here to watch their team play.
Otis Thorpe, Ricky Simpkins. Hayward misses. You know, I think Providence has done a nice job of taking that 3 away right now, because Marquette came out and knocked down 2 in a row. And they've kind of gone cold on the perimeter. Yeah,
the man-to-man's been a good move today by Keno Davis. They've played a lot of zone this year, but you just can't afford to sit in a zone against these sharpshooters for Marquette.
Marquette very astute at that extra pass for the open shot. That's something Keno Davis said he's still trying to grill into his team. Marquette won for the last 7 shots from three-point territory. Today's Big East College basketball game is presented in stunning high definition. Well, I'll tell you, I can't watch a game unless it's in HD right now, Ron.
I tell you what,
it's spoiled.
I am too. What a difference that makes.
Johnson Odom.
Nice defense there by Mackenzie Wright in Johnson Odom's shirt. He's very quick too with the ball.
Nice crossover by Bikes, and he gets the bucket. Now, you scored 2,500 plus at Holy Cross. Did you have a crossover like that?
I don't know about that one. That was pretty quick. Everything about the game seems a little quicker to me today. I'll tell you what, though, a lot of fun, a lot of great memories, and been able to keep it going by sitting at courtside at these games, and the players just seem to keep getting better and better each year.
And courtside in the Big East this year is extra fun. Of course, they were so good last year, but I think top to bottom, this is more fun than it was last season watching these guys go to war.
It really does feel every game that anyone can win. You can lose. You've got to be at your best.
1 on the shot clock, and there's going to be a shot clock violation by Providence. Good defensive stand by Marquette.
That was their best one of the game, and that play just bogged down, very deep for Providence. They were 25 feet from the basket. That's a good defensive stand. The shot clock has not been even challenged up until that point.
Yeah, the funny thing about that, too, is I've seen Curry hit it from that deep.
I have, too. He was somewhat under duress on that one.
3-point ball game now. Marquette coming in averaging about 76 points a game. Providence had 83. Tied for second in the conference with Syracuse behind Villanova. Johnson Odom puts his head down, and he's charged with the foul.
Yeah, both teams are playing small and quick right now, as you get a good look at Buzz Williams, who's up and at him and active. Keno Davis, both coaches really into it. We've got four guard or 3 guard lineups out there right now, but they are quick and they're small.
Council gives it up. Peterson climbs the ladder. He's got 6.
Yeah, I've been waiting for one of those. Peterson seems to be good for a couple or a few of those each game, and he can really get up with the best of them.
I heard about some of his dunks in practice, and Keno Davis will look at the person next to him and say, did I just see that? Well, yesterday I had a chance to go to Providence's practice, and I saw 2 of those. It was almost like, wow, I can't believe what I just saw. Sometimes he gets up and his elbow is above the rim.
Yeah, they have an inbounds play where they'll just alley-oop it to him, and he'll just go up and get it with great vertical leap.
He has 3 dunks this year on ESPN's Top 10 on SportsCenter already this season. We're not even halfway through February. There's a crossover. Unselfish play. They give up the rock and a little traveling music. Hayward, good help defense. So Buzz watching his Golden Eagles turn it over for the 6th time here this afternoon.
Now Johnson Odom has had a couple of great penetrating moves, setting people up. 1-2-2 pressure. And Marquette looks like they're going to drop back to either a man. Looks like a man-to-man right now. They're really putting good pressure on.
Hayward. He's got 8 in the ball game.
Boy, Hayward is so athletic and quick. It's 6'6". What a great matchup here today with Peterson for Providence.
Peterson. Bucket and 1. I'll tell you, Ron, as far as the two-handed jam, of course, he had to protect himself that time, so he didn't climb the ladder. But I think no one in the country can match him as far as the two-handed jam.
Great penetration. Providence here. Over to Peterson. Tight ball game. Big East action.
Back in Providence, Rhode Island, Ron, you talk about Jermaine Peterson. He's good for 2 or 3 or 4 dunks a ball game. Watch him elevate now with the two-handed stuff here.
Good ball movement by Providence. Council with the dish. He can really get up. That was really nice ball movement by Providence. How about that one against Syracuse?
We mentioned 3 top 10 plays on the top 10 for ESPN SportsCenter. That was against Syracuse earlier this week where he threw it up. I've seen somebody do that in a dunk contest, and the look on Jim Boeheim's face was priceless. It was like, did he just do that? Is he allowed to do that?
Well, that's amazing. Second in the conference at 10 rebounds a game. Finishes the three-point play. Very explosive player.
He's got 9 in the game now. I mentioned he and Herb Pope from Seton Hall, the only 2 averaging a double-double in the Big East so far this year.
2 very, very similar teams. Both teams quick, like the 3, not real big inside, and they've just gone right at each other here this afternoon in Providence.
There's that open look deep in the corner, and it rolls in. Kubian knocks down his second 3. He's got 6. He and Buzz Williams almost went their separate ways last year, and they sat down and had a heart-to-heart, and then he jumped in both feet, and he's been a good player ever since.
He's doing a good job, knows his role. We talked about keys for Marquette, spread the floor. That was a good example of it last time where they just spread you, penetrate. So tough to cover all these guys.
Johnny Lacey puts the ball on the floor, takes it, tries to split the defense, but he's fouled. And it's going to go against Bikes. You know, it's funny, Johnny Lacey and Bikes were high school teammates in Milwaukee just a couple of years ago at Bayview High School. Acker picked up the foul, but Bikes averaged about 21 points a game, and Lacey averaged about 22 points a game at Bayview. Acker just picked up his second, so he goes to the bench. Mundy. There's an inside touch. Nice kiss off the window. Peterson's double figures with 11.
Now Peterson showing you that he can finish inside at 6'6", just like Hayward can. For Marquette, he can also step outside, as can Hayward. Really nice matchup here today.
Kubian hop, skip, and a jump down the lane. He's fouled by Curry. Curry picks up his first, so Kubian. He's 7 of 10, 70% on the year. Going to the line now for Marquette. Marquette has yet to shoot a free throw. Providence just 1 for 1.
You won't see as many free throws typically with these 2 clubs because they will shoot those long jumpers, although they do penetrate quite a bit. I find it very interesting in Marquette's last game against DePaul, the number of free throws that they made in that game. What was it, 36 makes?
36 of 44. Wow. I mean, Kubian now with 8 points, but Jimmy Butler had, what, 18 points in that game, and 14 of the 18 came from the charity stripe.
Yeah, Marquette, a dynamite foul shooting team, well up over 70%, and that wins you a lot of ball games, too.
Especially down late in the game, hitting those free throws. Mundy gives it up. Peterson just strong enough to hold on to the rock now. He's got 13.
He's having another big game. He was quiet, but he's really been pouring it on. He can score in bunches. The Friars have really had command of this game from the beginning, but Marquette hanging right around, and they're so dangerous with the 3.
Possession now is going to point down on this end, so Marquette retains or holds on to the basketball after the jump ball call. Dixon, the young redshirt freshman out of Jersey City with 8 points, playing a very, very strong first half here for Keno Davis. Friars by 5, 39-34. Kubian, 8 on the shot clock inside. Butler. Boy, a patient basketball team, aren't they?
Yeah, they just get good shots each time down the floor. That's what you want. And that time Marquette just, as you said, waited till the good one turned up.
Peterson's so athletic he can lose the ball and still come up with it with a second opportunity.
Threw that one to himself. Thought he could have dished that one on the way down the lane. I think he had a plan in mind, but I thought he had an open teammate on the right side.
You know, I can see throwing it off the backboard, but he could almost be called for travel there with that last pass, even though you could count it as a shot, I guess.
Yeah.
Butler 5 for 5 shooting the rock so far. Johnson Odom misfires from deep. Friars with a chance to build on that 3-point lead. Nice move by Council. I love that little stutter step and caught Johnson Odom by surprise, and he picks up the foul. It's going to be his second.
Council's played a lot of minutes with Curry. He'll handle the ball, look to dish, and that puts Curry more to the 2 spot for the outside jump shot. Mundy out there, the freshman, can shoot it as well.
Yeah, Council and Mundy, they really like the games of both. Even we talked about Council's game earlier. Mundy says he runs the floor, he can shoot, plays hard, plays good defense, and 2 good freshmen for Keno Davis.
I did the South Florida game recently, which was a fantastic come from behind for USF, but Mundy had a fantastic game in that one, shooting it and playing a strong floor game.
Well, I'll tell you, if that last shot had gone in by Peterson, that was a Larry Bird type. Just flip it up there. And
he'll take some acrobatic shots. I wonder if he works on those. Maybe a game of horse, where he just comes up with some new imaginative shots.
Well, I don't know what you did. 37 seconds to go. Another turnover. That's number 8 now. Coming up on the Big East halftime report. So we'll take a look at the Big East wire, and Ron will take a closer look at the top 4, or the 4 top 10 teams in the Big East. Ron's midseason predictions, and we'll have the highlights and stats all coming up on the Big East Network halftime report. That's coming up within the next 25 seconds now. Good first half for Providence, up by 4, but they led by 10 at one juncture.
Well, these are the critical points where you want to execute. Curry, the senior, with the ball. They're going to try to do a little pick and roll, penetrate. You've got to bear down defensively right now. Nice dish.
Mundy deep, a little bit too strong, goes out of bounds. Last touch by Marquette. It's going to be Providence ball. Lazar Hayward said, come on. It should be our ball, but the refs didn't see it that way. Now with 4.8 seconds to go.
And Providence with the nice dish that time from Curry out to the perimeter with Mundy. Just the same kind of ball that Marquette plays, too. As we said, very similar clubs. You ought to try to get Peterson. There he is.
Great drop step, huh? He's so quick with that first step, and that's going to be it for the first 20 minutes. And with 20 minutes in the books, Ron Perry, your thoughts as we update the Stars?
Well, I thought both clubs really executed in that first half, and we thought we'd have a good matchup with Peterson and Hayward. We did. Hayward needs to probably get that ball a little bit more to start the second half for Marquette.
Well, Marquette trying to climb over the 500 mark in Big East play. They're 5-5. Providence trying to get within a game of 500. And right now it's Friars on top at the break by 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have something real special for you. Please welcome to the
Mike Gleason back with Ron Perry, a guy who was drafted by the Celtics, the Boston Red Sox, and the Chicago White Sox. Wow. All right, Ron, let's take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Geico.
Well, after that build-up, let's see. Some pretty good shooting by both clubs, although neither team really lit it up from three-point land. I thought the perimeter defense was good. Providence with that big advantage in the paint, and both clubs taking reasonable care of the ball.
Yeah, Marquette 4 for 13, and as you pointed out, they're number 1 in the country shooting 3, so Providence playing some defense here this afternoon.
Yeah, man-to-man, they've extended it. We thought they had to do a good job against the three-point shooting. Good defense right here by Marquette.
You know, Ron, we talked about the Buzz Williams and the fact that he likes to break it down into 10 4-minute games. Every television timeout or every 4 minutes, they check to see if they won that 4 minutes or how many There's Superman again. How many touches in the paint, I was going to say, as Peterson gets his 15th point. Well, Providence, Marquette only won one of those four-minute ball games in the first half.
Not the key to the first half. Providence just really came out the aggressor in this game, and they've been able to hold on to that. Marquette is, of course, right there, though. We've got to find a way, though, to stop Peterson and block out. We said that was one of the keys, and Providence, an outstanding offensive rebounding team.
Marshawn Brooks picks up the foul as we take a look at some other scores out of town. Look at Villanova with an 11-game winning streak. They've got, what, 3 feet of snow in D.C., and it's bogging down the Wildcats. They're down 50-31. Wow. And St. John's on top of West Virginia. The Mountaineers, they've won 5 straight as well.
Well, that'd be a big, big game for St. John's. They've struggled toward the bottom of the pack this year. That'd be a big one for them. And for Villanova, they've got a lot of work to do to come back on that one.
We talk about all the snow they're getting in the D.C. area. Well, Seton Hall's playing at Pittsburgh as well. They're playing the game, but in case you're watching the Big East game of the week and you're looking for that Pittsburgh game, locally, the telecast has been canceled, but they are playing the game. And Johnson Odom is still shooting threes.
Boy, some serious weather in the mid-Atlantic, and we're fortunate here in Providence we don't have that situation.
Yeah, not a stitch of snow. Russ DeLynn, our statistician, lives in the Baltimore, D.C. area. His flight has already been canceled. Peterson steps outside. Wow, when he squares up, you know, you look at his shot, Ron. You scored over 2,500 points, so maybe you can talk about this. He doesn't have the prettiest shot outside. I asked Keno Davis yesterday if he would ever tinker with that. He said definitely not in season. But when this season's over, they're going to break it down, starting at 2 feet out, going to 4 feet out, 6 feet out. And if he embraces that and really develops a jump shot with his jumping ability, he's going to be lethal in a couple of years, huh?
Yeah, because he's got the inside game, and he's got that quick release type set type shot from the deep perimeter. He gets the mid-range shot. Forget about it. So I think that'll be a great thing to add to his arsenal, but he's improved so much from a year ago.
And obviously he has to embrace it. It's sometimes it can be tough to mess with a young man's shot, and he's been shooting that way since 7th, 8th grade. I mean, this guy's been dunking since the 8th grade, so can you imagine him going straight up with a jumper at about 14 feet inside the free throw line?
Wow. That was dynamite. What a difference maker, though, he is. He really was, I guess, ejected from that first game with 2 minutes to go in the first half with a flagrant foul. Providence loses by 30 points. He's out there today, and look at this!
Sports Center. Cue up the top 10. I think Mr. Peterson might have his 4th entry.
Beautifully designed play, and he's the difference maker right now in this ball game for the Friars.
Well, 20 points, 7 rebounds now. As Butler won't go down. Brooks pulls down the rebound. Here come the Friars now up 47-39.
Friars can score in spurts. They can also give points up because of their quick style of play.
Oh, nice pass by Council. And just like that, Marquette gets 2 on the other end.
Like I said, you know, with the pace of this game and the quickness of both of these teams, no lead is safe in this ball game.
You know, Keno Davis says everybody has the green light in his offense if they have the open shot. He's trying to instill what Marquette does, the extra pass for even a more open shot. But when you play fast pace, it's kind of a transition for a young guy, huh? Do I shoot it? Do I not shoot it? Look at the work. Wow. Yeah, Dixon's been a workhorse. He's got 10. What, he had 4 opportunities that time?
He did. We talk about, you know, Providence with the offensive. Providence had 11 offensive rebounds in the first half. So a real key in this game has been their ability to get second chance opportunities.
Hayward coming off the screen, rings it up. Lazar Hayward now with 13. In this game, he's climbed into the top 10 all-time scores at Marquette. So you have McNeil, Dominique James, Wes Matthews, and Hayward all in the top 10 at Marquette now. And Hayward getting it done on the other side.
Well, Hayward right now just taking over for Marquette. Last 2 baskets, a 2 and a 3, and then the steal defensively. He wants it. I thought he was thinking about it.
Butler with a left hand. Boy, nice spin move. Good drop step, and it won't go down.
Yeah, Dixon really held his ground. He's played a good game for Providence today down low.
Yeah, speaking of down low, in the first half, they outscored Marquette 30-16 in the paint, Ron. And earlier in the broadcast, I talked about the fact that they've been giving up 95 points over the last 5 games. 50% of those points have come in the paint. But right now, the Friars are getting it done against these Golden Eagles in the paint. Keno Davis's team up by 5. Providence, Rhode Island, 49-44. Providence on top of Marquette. We told you Villanova with the 11-game winning streak in the nation's capital this afternoon. They're getting beat by 19 at halftime. Syracuse will go to Cincinnati tomorrow, Ron, but I want to focus on these 5-5 teams. Oh, I mean, look at it. What a logjam, huh? Notre Dame, Cincinnati, USF, Marquette. Providence trying to get there.
No, it's just bunched up right in the middle of the pack. We talked about that at the beginning. Now's the time to try to get some separation and get hot. All good ball clubs. All have played tough schedules. This whole conference this year have really been beating up on each other, and those teams could all start to make a run right now.
Speaking of tough schedules, Providence, wow, they've got a rocky road coming up, or at least a tough road, I should say. I mean, they're playing very well right now. I mean, 6 of the next 8 games, starting with that UConn game, I guess I should say, where they beat UConn by 15. 6 of the next 8 were against ranked teams.
Yeah,
5 against top 10 teams, right?
Very difficult. Where Providence has to turn the corner, Mike, they've got to get a couple of big wins on the road. They've done a great job to play people very tough here, and they've got that reputation. And this league is so tough on the road, and that's where they're going to have to break through.
Hayward, nice little baseline move. Well, I'll tell you, Ron, the fact that he played out of position for so many years, that's going to help him down the stretch, right? I mean, he adapted so well. He can play anywhere on the floor.
As we said, closing out the first half, they needed to get him more touches in the second half, and they're doing just that. He only had 6 shots in the first half. Good man-to-man by Marquette. They've put good pressure on the perimeter. Providence has done the same. Nice help.
Bilal Dixon. Bikes. Clobbered by Dixon. Bikes going to the line to shoot a couple. He's a 76% shooter.
Too much dribble by Dixon last time. He's tended to get it and make a quick move. Gets double and triple team. Just too much dribble there with the help out, the triple team. And that's a great job by Marquette. And then you want to cash in on the other end. They're able to get to the line.
And Bikes knocks down the first. That's his 3rd point in the ball game. 3 points, 4 rebounds for Dwight Bikes, the junior out of Milwaukee, by way of Indian Hills Junior College, a first-team junior college All-American last year, and the first player at Bayview High School, Milwaukee, to go over 1,000 points. Now the rebound for Peterson as he flirts with another double-double. He's fun to watch, isn't he?
He really is. He'll go inside, he'll dunk it, and then he'll go with a little razzle-dazzle handling the ball.
Hayward. Acker. Boy, here's that extra pass. Hayward deep in the corner. Air ball. Butler keeps it alive and misses the shot. Good defense by Dixon.
Boy, good offensive set, but no result.
Counsell rejected by Hayward. Coming from the weak side. How's that for help defense?
Oof. It's one of those third row jobs. A lot of times that guy in the help out position comes over. The defender slows him down, and then Hayward, watch him time it. Oh, that's a message block right there. Coaches would love to see that ball stay in bounds, but sometimes you send a message that says, keep that out of here.
Won't go down for Peterson from on top of the key. The whistle. And the foul goes against Marquette. Acker picks up his 3rd. Today's Big East game is being produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. Ron Perry along. I'm Mike Gleason. Great to have you with us on the Big East Network Game of the Week. It's been a good one so far. Last week, Marquette beating UConn with 2.8 seconds to go as Jimmy Butler scores. But Providence getting it done on the offensive side this afternoon. Counsell now with 7.
2-2-1 pressure by the Friars. Let's see if Marquette goes on the attack. They do.
Oh, strong shot.
Boy, a little bit of contact. Big East has always been a physical league, and you've got to just follow that play through.
Marshawn Brooks, a little traveling music for him. We're coming back the other way. Another turnover for the Friars of Providence. Keno Davis's team. Turning it over 9 times so far this afternoon. 13:25 to go, 53-49. They had a 10-point lead, and I have a funny feeling this is going to go right down to the wire.
Yeah, it's got that feel to it. Brooks been very quiet for Providence. Need him more involved in the offense. He's got 3 points, and he's their 3rd leading scorer.
Watch Marquette share the rock. They've got 6 guys with at least 33 assists. Watch Acker kick it out. Look at the passing. Look at that.
Beautiful passing. That was like a clinic that time, and they get the layup.
So the Friars say, hey, we've seen enough. We're down to 2, so we're going to take a timeout. Inside 13 minutes, Friars holding on to the 2-point lead over Marquette. Well, Marquette sharing the rock. Ron Perry, take us inside the play.
Well, if you appreciate good passing, Marquette really distributes the ball beautifully. They space very well. And check this one out. This little give and go play into Hayward and right back to Bikes. So it goes Bikes down to Hayward, shows himself nicely. The defense doesn't collapse down on Bikes, who cuts to the goal. The give and go to perfection. Nice passing, and that'll lead to good high percentage shots. The layup in that case.
15 assists for Marquette on 21 made baskets so far this afternoon. And you look at Acker, 75 assists, 52 for Johnson Odom, 63 for Kubian, 62 for Bikes. I mean, they really share the rock. There's the whistle and a foul. The reach on Kubian down on the baseline with Vincent Council. His second.
Marquette foul number 10 will be Kubian, his second, team 3rd. Starting Curry in the Friar lineup, replacing Kubian.
Dixon, a lot of traffic. Walked with the basketball. Keno Davis disagrees with the call. He might have traveled after he got pushed a little bit. 10 turnovers now for the Friars.
Little help with that one, which caused the travel perhaps. Well, both clubs just, similar styles going right at each other today with pressure, quickness. You just got to get hot and keep trying to shoot that rock.
Rock didn't go down that time. The last lead for Marquette was 3-2 back at the 1922 mark. Friars, Curry loves that shot.
Really that kind of game today. Both of these teams have got such good offensive players. They penetrate so well. The team that can just make those shots, as Curry just did, going to pull this ball game out today. And I agree. I think it's going to go down to the wire.
Those threes, though, they can change the complexion. There's 2 points. Now all of a sudden, bam, you hit a 3, and it's a 5-point game. 56-51. Acker. Hayward. Dixon with the rejection.
Oh, boy, but the deflection, I think, right back by Hayward on the outlet.
Kubian. Yes, it's a 3.
Big exchange by Marquette, able to stay in the play, even after the rebound by Dixon. Get a hand on that ball and then capitalize.
Ron, you just had a great shot of Joseph Fultz over on the bench. He got that big Band-Aid on his head. His right pulls the trigger. I mean, is it a matchup problem? Is he injured? I haven't been told if he couldn't play today, but he usually gets about 12 minutes a game. Very hard worker, and I haven't seen him on the floor.
Oh, nice finish.
Oh, jeez. Talk about a little body control. I thought he was giving it too much. It was almost like he was relieved. It went in. Kubian now with 12 points. Watch him. Leave his feet. Little razzle-dazzle. Gets it to go. "11 minutes to go. We are tied here in Providence, 56 all. As we take a look at the scoring leaders, boy, Herringody and Hazel, nice battle going on here in 2010.
Wow, there's some great scorers in the league. Herringody, the 2-time repeat player of the year, challenged by a lot of good players. And as I said at halftime, I think Scotty Reynolds at 18.5 with the Villanova club has made a lot of big shots this year to lead the way.
How about Dominique Jones, back-to-back Big East Player of the Week, averaged 32.5 points.
I was here recently when USF pulls off the, I think it was 109 to 105 overtime victory. He goes for 46. He's relentless. I'm not sure anyone in the league from start to finish works harder than Dominique Jones.
What were they down? With 16 seconds to go, they were down 5 points, and they still pulled it out. Huh?
Unreal.
That'd be a painful one for Keno Davis, though.
They came right back after that game, though, and beat UConn. Then Providence lost a couple of road games, so they really feel they've got to get this one today.
Council went in for the jam. Talk about steady play for a rookie. He's got 5 assists here already today. And he's flirting with the century mark.
That's right. He's right on the doorstep and taking good care of the ball. And he's not afraid to go right inside with it. I just think his floor game, is very advanced in just his freshman year, which is why they're so high on him here in Providence.
8 points. I mean, talk about steady play. You talked about the 16 points, 9 assists at Syracuse. And, against UConn in that win, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 steals. Just getting it all done in all facets of the game.
Great line.
Hayward tries to back his man down, and the foul is going to go against number 5, Wright. It's Kyle Wright, the junior out of Hartford, Connecticut, his first, team 4th. Dixon coming back in. Bilal Dixon, the 6'8 freshman, with 10 points. And Brian McKenzie, the senior, goes out. Marquette trying to make it 4 in a row. Hey, why not?
Wow. So consistent, so under control. And there's the lead for Marquette.
First time since the 1922 mark when they led 3-2.
Oh, beauty.
Scoop shot. Curry's got 15.
You look for your big game players to make big shots throughout, and Hayward and Curry just did it right there for their clubs.
Hayward climbing to number 10 on the scoring list, and now Curry is up to number 13 all-time here at Providence. Passing Jim Hadnut. Long rebound taken out by Curry. But Marquette comes up with a Darius Johnson-Odom. Nice decision, huh? Hayward had the open 3, took it in for the deuce. He's got 20.
He's so tough to cover. He's got big man skills. He's got backcourt type skills and just so under control.
Right. Dixon. 2 missed opportunities. Dixon and 1. Bilal Dixon.
Really played well today. The best part of that one is he doesn't bring the ball down. Check it out. Nice dish by Council. Here's another offensive rebound. Watch him. Keeps it up high. And he'll finish right there. The touch. Never brings it down where it can get stripped. And for big people, you want to keep it up high. He's got long arms, and he's done a nice job offensively for the Friars today.
Well, 2 years ago, averaging 19 points, 14 rebounds. Playing like that here this afternoon, 12 points now. Well, the redshirt freshman. Inside the Dunkin' Donuts Center here in Providence, Rhode Island. With Ron Perry, Mike Gleason, Big East Network Game of the Week. And great to have you with us as Jimmy Butler gets the tip.
Butler's been a little bit quiet in this second half, but he always seems to be around the basketball. Butler, Hayward, Johnson-Odom lead the way.
One thing about this Providence offense, you always got to keep an eye on number 21, huh? Peterson. He can come out of nowhere and
absolutely
climb the ladder or give it up, which he did there as Marshawn Brooks gets his first field goal in the second half.
Both of these teams are so creative offensively, tough to defend, and they match up so well.
Johnson-Odom trying to go baseline. Oh, just got that pass over the outstretched hands of Curry. Square up, Peterson. There's the foul, and Peterson will be shooting 3. Foul on Hayward. 7:46 to go. A 1-point game. Marshawn Brooks, the junior out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Providence within 1. We've had another Big East battle here in Providence. 64-63 Marquette by 1. Now today's Big East Coaches Spotlight brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds. And today let's take a closer look at Keno Davis, the head coach at Providence. Last year, Ron, winning a 10 in the Big East, going 10-8, 19-14 overall. And boy, what a rookie year he had 2 years ago at Drake, huh? The Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year. He's the National Coach of the Year. 6 different.
Done a great job. I mean, the Drake, record was outstanding. Coach of the Year, and he's really transitioned nicely into the Providence scene. Very energetic, has his players playing a certain type of basketball, which is up-tempo, pressure. Always seems to be under control over in the coach's area.
Keno Davis extended already after last year, so in essence, this is the first year of a 7-year contract for him, as Peterson knocks down number 23, misses on 24, but he'll have one more opportunity after being fouled shooting the 3. Peterson, as they call him, has 24. When I first heard that, I thought that would be a basketball term, but you probably know that story, covering a lot of these games. He was nicknamed Greedy by his mom because we're on the dinner table.
Finish it, man. I know. He loved it, man. He's fill me up. I think he's pretty greedy about getting offensive rebounds, too. And rebounding in general. I think he's like, I want that ball like I wanted food at that table.
There's Peterson. Oh, that would have been another double-double with the rebound. Marquette comes up with it. And Peterson picks up the foul.
Very unselfish play all the way around today. Jimmy Butler, the good interior pass right there to Hayward. No question, Hayward, the leader of this Marquette team. They need a big basket. They go to Lazar Hayward.
As Aki Collins said earlier this week, the most unselfish superstar he's ever met in college. Misses from the line. Peterson, with that rebound, would have had his 13th double-double. Pretty impressive. Number 1 in the Big East. That's one ahead of Luke Herringody. Russ DeLynn tells me he did pick up his double-double. So 24 points, 10 rebounds now for Peterson. That's 13 for him on the year.
Leads the pack in that category for sure.
So Hayward with 21, Peterson with 24. And we've got a tie game at 65.
Providence had that 5 to 6 point lead. Marquette hung around, and right now you can see this game tightening up into a kind of a half-court chess match down the stretch. We got 7 to go, a lot of time.
Curry, nothing but net from 17. And Curry now with 17 on the night.
He's been very solid. He's been quiet for a while offensively. He can score in bunches as well.
Okay.
Providence has played a lot of man today. Marquette, you've got to get out to the perimeter with both of these clubs, and they've tried to do that.
Boy, that extra pass, what an open look on his bikes. Knocks down the 3 ball. Second half now, Marquette 5 of 9 from deep.
Both teams are as good as it gets in terms of getting into the paint area and kicking that ball out. You help on defense, and your man's open for the shot.
Council. Doesn't go. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Marquette basketball. Today's Big East College basketball game is presented in stunning high definition. And we're going to have a thrilling ride for the last 6 minutes and 10 seconds. 68-67. I thought it would be higher in the 80s and 90s, but I guess we still have 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think we'll end up there. We'll get there. Boy, there's that extra passing.
Nice.
Didn't end up with a high percentage shot, but good ball movement.
All right, Ron. Brooks takes the shot from outside. Was everybody has the green light in the offense. Is that the shot they wanted there?
I mean, a lot of times I think an extra pass would produce a better shot, but a guy like Brooks can make those shots, and that's their style. And I think the other thing is they then say we'll be in a good position to rebound.
Okay.
And that's where Dixon and Peterson have done such a good job.
Last foul went on Jimmy Butler. That's his second. And Dixon misses from the line. He's a 56% shooter from the stripe, 51 from the floor. 20 games decided by 3 points or less. Last year they had 12. Top to bottom, what a league this is, the Big East. Dixon now 13 points, 13 rebounds. So you got 2 Friars and the double-doubles.
A real monster game. He averages 8 points a game and 6 rebounds. So Dixon's really elevated it, and Peterson has today as well. Curry, this has been a great college basketball game so far, evenly played. It's a 5.5-minute game right now, all knotted up, huh?
Hard to believe this was a 30-point game in Milwaukee just 3 weeks ago. Johnson Odom, he draws the foul, so the young sophomore will be going to the free throw line. 66% shooter from there. So Dixon picks up his third. It's nice rotation on the ball, huh?
He really does. Southpaw, uses both hands very well, driving. I'm very impressed with, his floor play as well, and unselfishness. Nice touch. Oh, that one won't go.
Whoa! Hayward with the rebound and the stick back. And some animation after he drove it down.
Great game by Hayward today. Coaches hate it when you don't control that rebound on a missed free throw. Got to box out and go get it.
Curry deep in the corner, doesn't go. Dixon is there, but Marquette comes up with it. Curry with the strip, preventing Johnson Odom with the breakaway bucket in transition.
Great hustle. I thought Curry's shot was quick at the other end, but he's able to get back against a very quick player here.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
Quick hands.
Good hustle.
A lot of players would have tried that and they would have got a foul, slapped him on the wrist, but can't teach quick hands like that.
Came up with leather.
71-68, Marquette's basketball. Trying to make it 4 in a row.
Nice up fake.
And he's going back to the stripe, and the foul is going to go against Peterson.
There's very few free throws for a good chunk of this game, Mike, and now when things tighten up, you see a lot more free throws shot, more penetration, and the game really slows down to more of a chess match.
So here comes Joseph Fultz. So we talked about, usually gets about 12 minutes a game, good hard minutes, a good rebounder, good defender. They say he never takes a bad shot. Has not played here this afternoon, getting ready to be sent in by Buzz Williams now.
And some last-minute instructions. Go out there and rebound, play solidly for us. We need you right now.
Peterson just picked up his third foul. Is Buzz Williams telling Fultz go in there and play him hard and make him pick up a foul, or just go in there and be strong on the boards?
I think he's the latter. I think he's saying, go in. I need you on the backboards right now. We need to play good defense, and I need you to be solid out there.
Boy, Johnson Odom, we talked about great rotation, but maybe he should take a little bit more time at the stripe.
A lot of people are in a rush there. I think you have to have a good routine, concentrate, and those are the guys that really have the high percentages, assuming they've got good technique from the line. There you guys got great technique. Oh, nice pass.
Oh, Peterson now with 26.
They've worked that play a few times.
Now, he didn't jam it down, Ron, but you know what that made me think of? Back in Brooklyn, or the Brooklyn Borough semifinal game. The fourth quarter of the high school game as Hayward comes right back, knocks down a three. He's got 26 as well. But Peterson had a jam in that high school game that brought the house down. And both guys from both sides of the floor came out and they were high-fiving, and they actually had to stop the game for 4 or 5 minutes because he got up so high.
And he is electric. I mean, dynamite. But Lazar Hayward's been equally impressive. Both guys have just matched each other in this ball game. And Hayward's just made shots both from two-point land, and he's 5 for 8 from three-point land in this ball game.
Now, Ron, watch Peterson now. He doesn't get the dunk because somebody was underneath him, but watch how high he gets on this.
Oh, wow. Great vertical leap.
Well, he made it count. He got the 2, but you know he wanted to grab that 2-handed and flush it down. I can't imagine stopping games for 4 minutes after a kid in high school dunked the ball. 75-70. Let's go coast to coast now and check some other notes around the country. And of course, Villanova-Syracuse unbeaten in conference play. Villanova in D.C. In Texas, ever since they lost to UConn, it seems like they've been struggling a little bit. And how about Bo Ryan at Wisconsin, huh? Nobody owns Tom Izzo, but Bo Ryan might.
That's amazing how well he's done in that matchup. Texas and Rick Barnes, they were #1 and the fastest drop. Be to number 10 with a couple of losses. It happens. I tell you, there's so many good teams. No one, I don't believe, is going to run the table in college basketball.
No, you're going to have to take an extra 5 minutes to make out your brackets this year for the NCAAs. Inside 4 minutes now, Marquette with their largest lead at 75-70. And speaking of past history, there's some guys that could play the game here at Providence. 75-70. Our defender of the game is brought to you by America's Navy, a global force for good. Ron, who do you have?
Well, I tell you what, the play that happened in the first half, Lazar Hayward stood out on this one. Check it out. Weak side defense. The big fella from Marquette comes over, just laying in wait on that one. Good defense by White Bikes to kind of slow down Council, and then Lazar Hayward comes over and says, let me get that out of here.
Defender of the game, brought to you by America's Navy, and getting it done on both ends as his numbers are huge on the offensive end as well. 26 points. Peterson has 26 for Providence. You know, Ron, you go back to that win over UConn, and Keno Davis said it's a good thing we won because you put forth so much effort, intensity. You can always go back. It'd be a shame to see these guys lose this game at home here this afternoon, because the one thing you can say, they played hard here today.
Played very hard. And Marquette, to their credit on the road, have really been tough. They've just stayed within their game plan and keep chipping away.
Butler missed the shot. You know, one thing about Marquette, too, in the second half, just one turnover. Last week in the win against UConn, they just had 3 for the game. So not only did they pass the ball well, but they take care of the rock. Yeah,
that's incredible. They're a tremendous passing team. Their assist-to-turnover ratio, one of the best in the country. Number 4, number 2 in the Big East.
Too strong for Curry on the 3. Yeah, in the win against DePaul, they had 13 turnovers, and Buzz Williams said, we didn't play Marquette basketball. We kind of played the scoreboard instead of playing Marquette basketball.
It's all about possessions right now, taking good care of the ball, getting high percentage shots, making your free throws. And this is where having strong guard play can be so helpful, which Marquette does have.
Hayward, open. A little bit short. Butler, brand new 35.
Oh, boy, big possession rebound. Also helps to have a guy like Hayward that can be the go-to guy. Buzz Williams saying, let's spread it out. We're down around that 2-minute mark, so now you're in real execution phase of your game, and you're going to have to make free throws and have good management of the clock.
Now, you mentioned what a big offensive rebound, because you know Marquette's not going to rush the next shot. They're going to milk it. Butler, a rare three-point attempt, and it goes down for Jimmy Butler.
Boy, big basket right there with 2 to go. Puts Marquette up by 8 on the road, and they've got the crowd quieted with that one, but still a lot of time to go. Again, that penetration, this time big man to big man, and that shows you how tough Marquette is. You got their center, you know, passing it to the forward, and they're all good perimeter players, Mike. So
is that what he is?
Is
he a center?
I don't even know. Guard, forward, center. He does it all, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we mentioned a rare 3 for Jimmy Butler. He's shooting 52%, but that's the 12th. You mentioned the 8-point lead for Marquette. That's their largest in the ballgame now with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go. Golden Eagles on a 10-2 run. They trailed by 4 at halftime. They trailed by as many as 10 here in the first half.
You know, Providence has got to keep their poise right now. Just chip away 2 at a time, play good defense. Both teams in the bonus situation from a free throw point of view, but neither one has committed 10 fouls yet. So, you know, you look for Providence to score, play some good defense. They're going to have to reach and put Marquette at the line.
Curry, top of the key, loves that shot. That's why knocks it down. Curry, he has 20 in the game.
Nicely designed play. Right to Sherrod Curry, a big game player as well for Providence.
Yeah, Ron, every time Curry touches the ball on top of the key right here, I think I'd get out on him, because studying tape this past week and a half, it seems like if he's open, he's taking that shot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful play. It's the, we just saw a little clip with Gene Hackman from Hoosiers moments ago. That looks like that picket fence right there at the foul line. The screen play and nicely set up like a wall. Coach Williams over there saying, take good care of the ball, make your foul shots, and we've got to bear down and get the stops on defense.
Well, Marquette and Providence each with 2 timeouts left. And you see the foul situation right there with 1:48 to go in the ball. Providence at 4-6. Lost a tough one to Cincinnati, 92-88, then lost to Syracuse, 85-68. The bottom line there, they didn't have an answer for Arenze Onuaku. Not too many teams have. But they wanted some payback after getting beat by 30 in Milwaukee. They played well, but they trailed by 5.
Been a very good, tightly contested game. Marquette right now in the driver's seat, and they're just trying to work clock, take good care of the ball. Providence has got to get a stop right here.
Butler, baseline, foul, goes against Dixon.
Tough to defend. They spread you out, Marquette. Everybody can penetrate, and you've got, you know, their big people, Hayward and Butler, also able to do the same.
Dixon picks up his 4th now with 1:19 left. And you look at some of the Providence fans, you wonder if the air is taken out of the balloon as Jimmy Butler walks to the line. 18 for him. He had 21 last week against UConn, 18 against DePaul, so his scoring continues to get better and better with each passing game.
He's been very solid today. Just made a big 3 from the right corner. Very under control player. That's the word I would use for Marquette. The whole team very under control.
9 of 13 from the stripe after going 36 of 44 against DePaul from the free-throw line. Council, the freshman, he's fouled. Down on the baseline, so Council will walk to the stripe. So Jimmy Butler is a 79% shooter. Council comes down the other side of the 94-foot court. He's a 73% shooter. And you wonder if the next 66 seconds we're going to have about 13 or 14 stoppages with fouls now.
Make up for the beginning of the game where there were very few stoppages. A lot of perimeter shooting, some good penetration, very clean, and now you tend to see this down the stretch as you try to make that run.
Misfires and run down by Curry. Curry takes the deep 3. He's got it.
Wow. Big shot right there. That's Curry again. That's a one-possession game.
Peterson. We're down 1. Ron Perry, suddenly this crowd has come alive.
They couldn't have been quieter a moment ago when Marquette went up 78-70. They just scored 5 points in 5 seconds with the 3 from Curry. The steal by Council. That's why these games are never over. We said it from the get-go. Bang. That's Curry from three-point land. I thought that ball should have gone to Butler, and then the tougher pass. Council takes it. The nice dish. You know, Butler was open right there. Give him the ball, and then you know, see if he can do something. He just made a couple of foul shots, right?
Rare mistake for Marquette, especially that kind of mistake at this juncture. 3 for Curry gives him 23. The 2 for Peterson gives him 28, Ron.
Yeah, the key thing is inbounding the ball. You can see Marquette and Providence each with timeout left for Marquette, 3 for Providence.
Butler having a hard time getting that ball in. And there's a 5-second.
Great pressure, and I think Buzz Williams wants another timeout.
56 seconds to go.
I don't think so. He's only got 1 left.
No, he called for it, but nobody saw him down there.
Great pressure and denial by Providence. That's the ultimate when you can not allow the team to get the ball in bounds in that 5-second time frame.
Keno Davis said in that win over UConn, the crowd was so helpful, but now this Providence crowd trying to get him a victory. Rejected inside.
Did Hayward cradle that basketball? Boy, nice defense that time by Marquette.
So the two bigs, if that's what you want to call them. Butler gets the block. Hayward comes up with the basketball. Marquette by 1.
Got about a 12-second differential game shot and shot clock, so Providence can get the stop. It's a 1-point game. Try to not foul here, just play good D.
There's the timeout now. Buzz Williams jumps off the bench, calls the timeout. 23 seconds, 23.7, 80-79. Marquette. All right, Ron, take us into both huddles. First with Marquette, what's Buzz telling these guys?
Well, right now he's saying, look, we've got 11 seconds. I've got to believe he wants to try to set a play up to get the ball in the hands of Hayward. He's their go-to guy. Let's see if they can find him, you know, have one of his backcourt people penetrate and find Hayward and see if he can get something strong to the goal. For Providence, they've got to put great pressure on the ball. He's saying, don't foul. Let's get the stop right here. And then he's got timeouts. I think he'll use a timeout. If the clock gets down low enough, under 10 seconds, you tend to want to go with it. I'd want to have Curry with the ball because he's a great free throw shooter, and have Peterson banging the backboards. It's going to be a great finish.
Yeah, you mentioned the timeouts. Keno Davis has 2 remaining in his pocket, and Buzz Williams now has exhausted all of his timeouts, so he has none left. 23.7, 80-79, Marquette with the ball. We're inside the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island, as Providence takes on Marquette, and it's been a good one. Along with Ron Perry, I'm Mike Gleason. Great to have you with us. Ron Perry, who once led the nation as a rookie, his freshman year averaged 23 points a game. Tops in the country. Joseph Fultz getting very limited time here for Marquette, as the Golden Eagles trying to extend their winning streak to 4 straight and climb over the 500 mark in this tough Big East and go to 6-5. Hayward, big game, 26 points. Peterson has 28 for Providence. Here we go, Marquette's basketball. No more timeouts for the Golden Eagles.
You know, listening to the Dunkin' Donuts Center and the people right now, this is why it's tough to win on the road in the Big East. You're experiencing it right now. Marquette, got to have ice water in your veins and just execute your play right now.
Kubion, a quick 3. Another big offensive rebound for Marquette in the foul against Providence. Wow, how do you not get that ball?
Huge rebound. But again, who's always around the ball? It's Hayward. He set the screen. I thought they were going to kick it to him. They got a good look. Watch Hayward. He's open. Kubion goes for it. He's right on it. Just a good effort going for the ball. That was just up for grabs.
I'm surprised. All afternoon we talked about the patience and the great ball movement for Marquette. I'm surprised Kubion took that quick 3.
Yeah, I thought the look back to Hayward was there, but Hayward still comes up with that big rebound.
Hayward now with 27 points and 9 rebounds. He's got 6 double-doubles on the season, 20 for his career.
He's been great today. Excellent foul shooter. If he makes this, though, it's still a 1-possession game for Providence with plenty of time.
He knocks it down, 28 points. Lazar Hayward. And Providence, 2 timeouts left. That's down to 1 as Keno Davis uses up 1. 13.2 seconds to go. There's that 1-possession game as you look at the numbers, 82-79.
Well, you'd like to have, I mean, Providence obviously has a few guys that can knock 3 down. I've got to believe that, you know, Marquette's going to try to make sure they put a real blanket on Curry, who's really dynamite from that area. But Keno Davis will have a handful of guys that can knock him down. So the 3's there. Unless they really push it down quickly and get a quick 2, I think Providence will probably be looking for a 3. Again, unless the quick opportunity is there and then a quick timeout. And for Marquette, you play the good, solid defense. If you have to reach in, you reach in, because it is a three-point game, and you'd rather have them shooting foul shots than give up, an easy basket from the perimeter.
Well, it's been a fun afternoon inside the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island, as the Friars take on the Golden Eagles of Marquette. I'm Mike Gleason, along with Ron Perry, all-time leading scorer at Holy Cross and a three-time academic All-American. So Marquette at 5-5, trying to make it 4 straight. They're 1-4 on the road. This would be their second road victory, 82-79. But Providence with 1 timeout left, 13 seconds. I liked what you said about the 3 versus the 2. I was going to ask you, the next question was 13 seconds. Is there time for a 2? It's going to have to be a quick 2, as you mentioned.
It's going to have to be a quick 2. So I think Marquette's going to want to show some pressure to make Providence work to bring the ball up the floor, just to use some time and then force Providence into a 3-shot opportunity. And Marquette can always reach in if they think someone's getting too open for a shot. You cannot give an open 3 right now.
Curry's 5 for 9 from 3. The rest of the team 1 for 12 for Providence. This is Council, the freshman. Council, a little bit shy, and that's going to be it. Not the shot they were looking for, Ron, and a very tough loss.
They were trying to set Curry up, but good denial. They did a good job defensively. They got a good look there with Council, though under duress. And you got to give a lot of credit to Marquette coming on the road, getting it done against a very, very game Providence team here today.
So the Marquette Golden Eagles, they win at 82-79, and here's that last shot again with Providence.
A lot of defensive pressure. I mean, Council has to go up in a lot of traffic. Just good denial defense by Marquette when they had to get it without fouling. And for Providence, the look, but unable to put this thing into overtime.
10 seconds, Ron, your thoughts on the whole 40 minutes here this afternoon?
I just thought it was a tremendous game today. I thought 2 evenly matched teams. Marquette delivered better in the second half to pull this one out.
Once again, the final score, Marquette winning it over Providence, 82-79 for Ron Perry and our entire Big East crew. This is Mike Gleason saying so long. Tune in next Saturday when Cincinnati visits UConn at 12 noon Eastern Time. For more information, log on to ESPNplus.com. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports. So long, everybody, from Providence, Rhode Island. Enjoy the rest of your Super Bowl weekend.